Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com. Welcome to this full free song lesson as requested over on my Facebook page. Very popular song request and one of my favourites from my childhood as well. Walk of Life by Dire Straits, drummed by Terry Williams. And what I've got for you today is the full song. So I've got all 3 pages of the PDF that you can download from my website for free, teaching every single bar, beat, fill for the entire song. You'll find a link beneath this video. So have all 3 of these pages printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It's going to make things a lot easier for you to understand. And then while you're at my website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And for some $97, I give you a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson, just like this lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's over 500 full song lessons now, including a couple of other Dire Straits songs, and I'm sure I'll be adding more in the future as well. Okay, so the song starts with the Hammond, 8 bars of intro, and then Terry comes in with the hi-hat being struck on beats 2 and 4. So we've got to be aware of where the downbeat is and play against it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're coming in on beat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't get confused by that. Don't think that these hi-hat strikes are beats 1 and 3. They're not. They're the offbeat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's important because as we see, after 8 bars of that being played on the second line, we get 4 more bars of just the hi-hat, and then the bass drum comes in on beat 1. And if you're not aware of where beat 1 is, then it's going to confuse you a little bit. So you've been playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your first bass drum there on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So just again, one more last time, just be aware that those bass drums are the downbeats on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets played 4 times, and then we come in with this very simple snare drum note on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just on its own there. Snare drum on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And we're into our first groove. So those last 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So then we go into, like I said, our first drum beat. And this song would be a beginner drum lesson, really, if it wasn't so fast. It's the tempo that makes this intermediate song. Because your right hand, if you want to play it note for note like Terry, you've got to be able to play fast 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That's no mean feat to be able to play that all the way through the song and not seize up. So you need to be relaxed. I get a very loose grip. Not loose that the stick is wobbling in my hand, but I'm certainly not tensing up any part of the wrist or fingers. I want to keep my hand as relaxed as possible throughout the entire song. And I'm using a little technique called the molar whip. Because I'm sort of doing this motion. This helps me to play at that sort of tempo comfortably and not get too tired. I'm not playing every single note. If I had to do it like that all the way through the song, I don't think I'd be able to do it. It's the molar whip that helps me get through at this tempo. So if you can't use that technique, then perhaps you could consider playing just quarter notes on the hi-hat throughout the song instead. So our first drum beat would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This is what Terry's playing on the recording. Simple as that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to speed, it's... But you could play quarter notes with the right hand instead. Won't feel the same, but at least you can get through the song that way. If you really can't play those fast 8th notes, then change instead of playing 1 and 2 and, just play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and instead. So those first 2 drum beats, bars of the drum beat, we just simply got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then Terry started to add in these extra bass drum notes on the and of 2. So for the next bar we get 1 and 2 and 3, 4, boom, back, boom, boom. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So again, going back to this more beginner drummer, if you really can't play those extra bass drum notes, you could just play all the way through, or I'm playing the quarter note version with the hi-hat and I'm keeping in that bass drum still. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. That's quite a syncopated melody to sing against the drum beat. So you've got some options there. Obviously it won't sound the same, but you have got that option if you really need it. So you can see the first 4 bars there, we've really got the 2 main drum beats of the song. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, into 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. He then continues with that extra bass drum note pattern for the rest of that line. And then at the end of that line, we get our first drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, the drum beat is basically and 4 ands. But what Terry does with the hi-hat over the top is up to you really, if you want to replicate it or not. It's not really important. What Terry does on the recording is this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. He plays and 4. He plays those hi-hats there and 4. But then the last note he plays on its own, giving his right hand time to move to a crash cymbal. And 4 and 1. Now you could copy that, or you could play 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and just play those 3 snare drum notes on their own. Left, right, left if you wanted to, or left, left, left. You don't have to worry about lining up those hi-hat notes. No one's going to hear them really. It's just about keeping yourself in time. So how Terry plays it, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let me create a 2-bar loop, because that's always better when you're practicing drum fills to put it in context with a beat before it. Otherwise you just end up hearing this drum fill over and over again. So take bars 7 and 8 for example. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And the other options I talked about. Something like that, or up to you. So then we go on to the next line. Starts with the crash cymbal again. And Terry improvises with this bass drum pattern. He doesn't seem to keep it very consistent throughout the song, which is weird. Because this time he plays 3 bars of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 4th bar he comes in with the extra bass drum note, not the 3rd bar as he did previously. So again, note for note, you've got it on the chart. Don't worry about it too much. If you accidentally play extra bass drum note or forget the extra bass drum notes coming in, that's not really important, as Terry doesn't seem to think it is either. So then we get to the last bar, and probably the most complicated drum fill of the song. We get, notice there's no extra bass drum on the and of 2 as well. We get 1 and 2 and 3, so up to that point normally. Then down to the snare drum, you've got to be quick with this. We're playing and a 4 and. That's a sticking Terry uses, and the one that I suggest you use as well. It makes a lot of sense. Right, left, crash. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. We get that rhythm. Diddle-let that, diddle-let that. So again, a 2-bar loop. So one final thing about those drum fills, or the crash cymbals really, we want to talk about, is that when I come back to the crash cymbal on beat 1, at this tempo, I don't rush back to the hi-hat for the and of 1. 1, 2 and 3. I come back in with the hi-hat on beat 2. I don't have to play 1 and, unless you want to. There's no reason for you, because that crash cymbal is going to hide out that hi-hat note anyway. So at this sort of tempo, I play a crash. So I'm not coming back to the and, I'm coming back on beat 2 with the hi-hat. Just to give my right hand just an extra little break there. So we go into verse 1, and we get this improvisation with the bass drum. First 2 bars, boom, bap, then the bars 3 and 4, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. And then next 2 bars straight back to the single bass drum note, and then the last bar has the extra bass drum note, and then the very last bar of that line has this drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the open hi-hat is definitely optional. We get and closes with those 2 snare drums and 4 and. We just get 2 snare drum notes there. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. So it's quite a unique drum fill. It only happens once in the song. He might be playing a little ghost note on the snare drum on the and of beat 3, but I can't hear it on the recording. It's very low in the mix if it's there. the only two notes you really hear are 4 and. So what I'm trying to say is that he might have been playing and 4 and 4 and. So if you want to play and 4 and, as we did on the first line of the main groove, then fine, you could do that. If you find just playing that one drum fill once is a bit weird, you can make it more consistent with the rest of the song and play and 4 and like the rest of it. Because I think that's what he's trying to go for. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Although that works just as well, of course. So we get 2-bar loop, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Then the next line, we get, and I won't keep going over the different variations of the bass drums now because that's all you've got to look out for. It's either boom, bat, or boom, bat, or boom, bat. They're the two different types, that's all there is. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth bar there. The hi-hat stops on beat 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. He doesn't play 4 and, although you certainly could. It doesn't really matter. He's playing 4, giving his right hand time to go to a crash. 4 and 1 and we get these last 2 bars here where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So that's last bar there. We get 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Straight after that, beat 3, 3 and 4 and with that drum fill again. I want me to practice that rhythm around a few times to get that comfortable. So the last 4 bars there, for example, we get 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 into our first chorus. Now I'll play this all up to speed for you in a moment. So the chorus is just 2 lines and consisting of the drum beat variations, which are improvised again in weird places. The first line there, that drum fill at the end, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and. We've gone over that already, and 4 and. The next line starts with the crash, and then we get the 1, 2, and 3, and the 4 and drum fill at the end of that. So before we go on to the next page, let me now play for you the third line of the intro, the line where the bass drum comes in, all the way through those next 2 lines, all the way through verse 1, all the way through chorus 1, basically to the bottom of the page. So we can hear how each of those sections sound like next to each other without me yakking on over the top. Here we go! So the rest of this drum lesson is going to go by very, very quickly indeed, because we've pretty much gone over, unless my memories failed me, we've gone over pretty much every single variation of beat and fill that occurs in the song. So bridge 1 is just 8 bars. At this point, the song, Terry sort of stays consistent. The first 2 bars are always boom, bap, and then after that, the third bar onwards is boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. So I'm not going to waste your time by going over the drum fills at the end of each line. You can see they're the ones we've gone over already. The end of verse 2, exactly the same structure. Chorus 2, exactly the same, except for, now I've spotted it now, that last drum fill at the end of chorus 2, the first line, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So again, it might have been and 4, and. He might have played an and there on the and of 3, but I couldn't hear it. I'm just hearing 4 and, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So you could play 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and, as he did previously, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. But on the recording, you just hear 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So just be aware of that extra new variation there. Bridge 2, double length, each ending with and for and at the end there. Verse 3, we've gone over all that structure. You're just reading what the bass drum is doing. So on to page 3, chorus 3. You know, we've gone over that exactly the same as chorus 1 and 2. The first line is, the second line is, and then the outro, just 4 lines. And he alternates between ending each line of 8 bars with and for, and then the second line, and for, and third line, and for, and then the last line, and for, and that last line is where the song starts to fade out. So that's it, really. It's a shame that it's a fast song, from my point of view, perhaps from your point of view as well, because it would be a great song for beginners, this. We got some very nice drum fills being repeated, very musical use of drum fills. He's come up with an idea and he's repeating it like a musical motif. Great drummers always do that. They don't feel the need to show off and improvise every single drum fill, make it different, throw in all their licks. Terry has come up with an idea, a rhythmic idea, and he repeats it throughout the song so that it becomes like I say, a melodic motif, like it becomes part of the song, because it is. So have fun with it. Try the quarter note version if you find this playing 8 notes too fast, because it is a good fun song to play if you're a new drummer. And if you've got any questions about that, then email me, rob@drumstheword.com. So don't forget to download all 3 pages of the PDF. Like I said, it's free from my website. You'll find the link beneath this video. And as I said at the beginning, for $97, if you sign up to become an online member, you get access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And like I said, that's over 500 full song lessons, just like this lesson. I teach you the song from start to finish, every single bar. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart for each of the songs. And I've got over 500 full song lessons up on the website already, including a load of other Dire Straits stuff. As a thank you for signing up, I give you access to hundreds more videos teaching you many famous drum beats, fills, and even solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous beats, fills, and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But again, any questions about any of that, email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.